सम्प्रति अहं विजयनगरस्य वाल्मीकिसंशोधनकेन्द्रस्य निदेशकाः भवन्ति आचार्याः हनुमन्तु रजपतिरायमहाभागाः तान् सम्प्रार्थये स्वकीयं भाषणं विधातुम्।
అది ఒకటి నెక్స్ట్ అనగానే మీరు కొద్దిగా ఫాలో అయిపోండి. నేను నెక్స్ట్ అని చెప్తాను. Pranams to all. So as I already informed that I can only speak in English, okay? So when coming to this relevance of ethics, governance and Rajadharma in Indian knowledge systems, I have prepared a model syllabus for one paper. You just listen to me how I have prepared. Suppose if this is offered as a paper, as a subject paper with certain credits for your academic tests, you can understand how the syllabus would be. And I prepared this syllabus for 2 semesters, semester 1 and semester 2. And the title of the paper is, course title is Mahabharata and Modern Knowledge Systems. Mahabharata and Modern Knowledge Systems. This is the title of the paper. Ethics, Leadership and Society. Ethics, Leadership and Society. Okay. Chapter 1. Syllabus is like this. You have already heard all the great people regarding what is IKS and how we have to understand this. Now we are coming to the practicals. Suppose if a paper is offered as an optional or as a compulsory subject, then the syllabus can be drafted like this. For example, in the chapter 1, introduction. In the introduction chapter, Mahabharata as an itihasa and a knowledge system. Mahabharata as an itihasa and a knowledge system. In this, the contents are like this: scope and significance, IKS modern science integration, course methodology. This is the first chapter. If any teachers are here, our Sanskrit teachers are here, faculty are here. Faculty, please follow. See, the first chapter is scope and significance. IKS modern science integration. Course methodology also is there in the first chapter. And in Mahabharata, you have 18 parvas. And in these 18 parvas, for example, the second parva you take, Adi and Sabha parva. Okay? Adi and Sabha parva, this is the second chapter. This is the first parva, but in our syllabus it is second chapter. In this Adi and Sabha parva, what I would like to teach my students in my VRC, in my Valmiki Research Center, is about values, ethics and institutional integrity. You can read that Adi Parva just simply like a story, but the hidden values in that, we have to extract them out as values, ethics and institutional integrity. Under this, again, sub-chapters or units are there. Unit 1, family ethics, O's, governance lessons. Second unit, dice game. Dharmaraja, he played that dice game and he was defeated because of the foul play paid by Sakuni. Okay, this is dice game. And this dice game, this is one thing. suppose if you go for such bad habits like dice or anything, you know, like Dharmaraja, you would also suffer in your life. Even a person like Dharmaraja suffered, then ordinary human beings, we are nothing before him. So you should be very careful as a student. When you opt for a habit, you should opt for such a habit that will uplift you in your life, and that habit should not lead to your downfall. This is the first lesson the students have to learn, and this is on the unit 2. This is about dice game and Draupadi's humiliation, and Draupadi Parabhava, that humiliation she felt, and because of the wrong commitment of Dharmaraja, what happened? His wife suffered, his brothers suffered, the entire family suffered. The reasons may be many. The Paramatma's role is different, that what he intended, it happened. That is a different story. But for our ordinary people, we have to learn lessons like that. And Draupadi's humiliation. If I do something wrong, my wife also suffers. My children also suffer. So I should be very careful as head of the family. Similarly, if you become head of the family, and then you should be also very careful in your conduct. And then in this particular unit, you know, in this Adi Parva, Adi and Sabha Parva, in this, you know, justice, transparency, and gender ethics. Gender ethics also. And how a woman gender, a feminine gender, was ill-treated by the during that particular time, just because of something wrong committed by the head of the family, that is Dharmaraja. Understand? So here, coming to the next unit, you know, and we have political science in this particular this thing also. For political science students, you know, they have to learn a lesson. Mahabharata is nothing but a complete story of politics, mainly politics. But in Ramayana, it was a story of Dharma, and how Lord Rama tried to uplift Dharma principle. But in Mahabharata, it is a conglomeration. It is a mix of so many issues that normally we face every day in our lifetime. So such things which we are going to face in our lifetime, almost every day we face such issues or such incidents, and how do we have to be careful about those things, and how do we have to educate ourselves about such issues, and so that we can conduct responsibly, we can conduct ourselves in a responsible manner without inviting any troubles for ourselves. So this lesson we would like to teach to the students. Understand? If you simply read Mahabharata like a story, that is only one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin is you just link it to the knowledge system, and the preparation of the syllabus also should be like that. The teachers, the board of studies, or whatever academic council is here, they have to deliberate, they have to discuss, and which part of this particular parva in Mahabharata can be tailor-made by moving knowledge systems into that, and to be offered as a course to the students. Got the point? The second thing here is, suppose you come to next parva, Vana and Virat Parva. In this Virat Parva, we have three important values that we have to remember for ourselves. Number one is resilience. Second one is sustainability. And the third one is hidden leadership. In Virat Parva, all Pandavas, you know, they are not known to the general public as Pandavas. Understand? That is what is called hiding leadership. Sometimes you may be a good leader, you may be a good warrior, you may be having all the skills, but you have to hide them. You cannot exhibit them. You should not exhibit them because of the circumstances. So that is also a strategy. That is also a strategy. Because in Vanavasa, Pandavas, you know, they had hidden their leadership. The Virat Maharaja, he did not know that a particular person was Dharmaraja or Arjuna or Bhima or Draupadi, whatever it is. Understand? This is what is called hidden leadership. And resilience. And during this particular, you know, Virata Parva, you know, again there was a war between Kauravas and Pandavas. And Arjuna led the army. And finally they won the army. And but in between, before they came to be known as these 5 people are Pandavas and Draupadi. And the way the 5 Pandavas, the 5 brothers conducted themselves, and how they could control their emotions, this is what is called resilience. And there are several instances where when Virata king, Virat Maharaj, he had thrown away the dice towards the Dharmaraja, he was hit on the forehead and it was bleeding. Then immediately Draupadi, she just caught it without touching earth, because if that blood falls on the earth, the entire Virat Samrajya would go for a drought situation. So resilience. But under no circumstances they were very, very resilient, and they conducted themselves with utmost care, with utmost what is called control, and without revealing their personalities, and without revealing their original identity. And sometimes it happens in our life also. Sometimes you have to hide yourself. It may happen. Suppose you become a police officer, what will happen? One police officer, he sat with Naxalites during their secret meetings. And these Naxalites do not know that a particular police officer in a Maruvesha sitting with them in the group. That is what is called. So sometimes in the governance, you know, if you become, you have to play such roles. Even when you become an officer, a king sometimes, you know, in the olden days, kings used to, they used to visit different places in the kingdom in Maruvesha in a different fashion, and so that they could know the real problems of the people. This is nothing but hiding leadership. So all these things, you know, we can learn even if you become an officer, or even if you may have to hold such responsibilities. And in all such circumstances, you have to play certain roles. And these things we want to include in the syllabus. And this is the syllabus I am suggesting to your Vice Chancellor. Of course, subject to further discussions by the faculty and Board of Studies here, they will make a final thing. And and in this Vana and Virata Parva, we also come across environmental issues. So we can also discuss about the environmental issues. So environmental studies are also included in this chapter 3, and also leadership psychology. What is leadership psychology? In the Pandavas are leaders, and Dharmaraja also, every person among these 5 people in Pandavas, you know, they are leaders in their own respective skills. But still, you know, what kind of psychological pressures they had undergone during this Virata Parva, and how they could be resilient, and how they could be unrevealing, and how they could manage themselves. It is what is called managing your own kind of conduct, or managing your own feelings. And these are some of the points, you know, I would like to include in the syllabus under this chapter. And coming to Udyoga Parva. In Udyoga Parva, for example, this is chapter 4 in your syllabus. In Udyoga Parva, diplomacy and conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. And suppose Indian Foreign Service. Suppose you apply for All India Civil Services, and you may be getting a service which is known as IFS, Indian Foreign Service. Then you will be joining some embassies as ambassador or as a diplomat. And then what kind of diplomacy? Because a diplomat is one and who has to finally resolve the issues between the countries. And there may be very conflicting situation between one country and the other country. There may be very conflicting situation between you and me also. Sometimes we may be very close friends. 3 months ago, Modi and Trump, they were very close friends. Trump was saying he is my close brother. Modi was saying he is my close friend. But they became now people apart. And so this is a conflict now. Now what kind of diplomacy is required? Now again they are diplomating, and they are now trying to become together, and they are trying to become clear of some of the misunderstandings they have between themselves. So this is all, this all goes with diplomacy. So this kind of diplomacy and conflict resolution is the core content of chapter 4 of, that is, Udyoga Parva. Understand? And now coming to this is what is called under this Udyoga Parva, mainly what we find in the story also, Mahabharata, you find negotiation, peace studies, and international relations. Peace studies, Krishna Raivaram was there, and so many Raivarams were conducted, but Duryodhana never listened, and ultimately he met the fate. So this particular lesson gives us, if you don't resolve the issues, you are bound to face conflicting situation in your lifetime. I am telling you, and I am also telling you, based on my experience, a person can be happy only 30% of his lifetime. 70% of your lifetime you have to face difficulties. Difficulties means challenges, and these challenges you have to overcome, and these challenges you have to manage with your emotional quotient, or with your psychic power, or with your emotional intelligence, or with your kind of resilience, what all those virtues we have just discussed. And if you have them only, then you can make your life more happier, and maybe you will be falling in the 60% category of happiest people in the world. So happiness or unhappiness, again, left to yourself, you are 30% happier, because from first year when you are a baby up to 20 years you are a grown up adult, and under the care of your parents, that is 30% of life is over. The life starts after you get married. Okay, and the conflicting situation between you and your mother, your father, your wife, your brothers, and other people in the society, how do you have to manage? Do you want to differ with them and fight with them throughout your lifetime? No, you have to resolve your conflicts. And how do we have to resolve the conflicts? It is again Mahabharata that gives us the clues. And if you read each parva from this perspective, you will get a full, what is called a picture of how we can live a happier life. And if you know all these virtues, you can be happier even 70%. So it depends. Otherwise, you will always be falling in troubles, and you will be confusing yourselves. And so this is what is called, if it is a classroom, I can explain in a more detailed manner, but now the time is only half an hour for me. I have to go fast. And this is about Udyoga Parva. And coming to the Bhishma and Drona Parva. Bhishma and Drona Parva, ethical leadership, training and innovation. Under this, what we have to discuss, duty and loyalty. Organizational dilemmas. So suppose you are working in an organization, and how dutiful you are towards your elders, and how dutiful you are towards your existence in an organization, And the second important thing here is, innovation and innovation versus tradition. Innovation versus tradition. And something that is being innovated nowadays, but traditionally we are following a particular path. And how to integrate the traditional issues with the present walk that all of us have adopted. And that is exactly what this IKS is meant for. And you see this, and Abhimanya's sacrifice. And Abhimanya, I can see him as a youth leader. Abhimanya, he is a youth leader and very promising young fellow. And even Lord Krishna also became envious of his valor, his strength, his capacity. And for various reasons, of course, mentioned in Mahabharata, of course, Lord Krishna also did not support him because of one particular reasons. So, not because Abhimanya was bad. Abhimanya was very, 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 very liked by all the people, and both sides they liked it. But the problem is that is a different story. But here, what I would like, I would see Abhimanya as a youth leader. So you can follow his kind of the Grahana Sakti. And when he was in the womb of his mother, had to be delivered as a son of, he was able to understand the Padma Vyuha when it was being narrated to his mother. Understand? So, the Grahana Sakti, Abhimanya's Grahana Sakti, and Abhimanya's strength, and Abhimanya's willpower, and Abhimanya's daring and dashing nature, all these things also we have to learn. And if you read those slokas, you have to read the slokas and understand them clearly. Unfortunately, I am not able to recite them here, but if you read them and understand them, they give you a lot of motivation regarding your lifetime behavior. And another thing here is under this Bhishma and Drona Parva, we also learn, we also discuss about military science and the science relating to army. And the science relating to army, this is what is called military science. And also, again, there are some issues that are associated with ethics and psychology, even in this particular Bhishma and Drona Parva. And coming to the Karna and Salya Parva, again here, leadership challenges and morale in adversity. And this is Karna's tragedy, and why Karna, he faced the certain issue for problems. Was really Karna a Dan Karna? Was really Karna was left over by Kunti? And there are so many issues are there. And some people who do not like Mahabharata, they give a different version. But it is our duty to see that there are many virtues in that. There are many scientific reasons in that particular, in the birth of Karna. And we have to, invoke all the issues, and we have to enlighten the present day generation regarding certain issues involved in this particular Salya Parva and Karna Parva. And this see the Salya's reluctant command, morale, and unwilling leadership. Who is Salya? Salya Sarajyam, we call it Salya Sarajyam. And he was trying to demotivate his own, king. And but this kind of this kind of issues also sometimes we may face problems. You believe one person, but he does not support you when you are in a critical time. And then how do you have to defend yourself? How do you have to emerge out of that situation? Again, it is an issue, that we have to study. And this is first semester papers. 5-6 papers I have prepared, and in the 6 papers, 6 chapters and units also I have given. And coming to the second semester, what is the title of the paper? Mahabharata and modern knowledge systems, ethics, leadership and society. This is the title of the your subject paper. And coming to the Saupitika and Stri Parva, and in this, okay, so in this, again we find there are various issues: women's grief, international humanitarianism, law, gender studies, trauma, psychology, etc. And in Santi Parva, here we discuss about Bhishma's wisdom on duty of rulers. And Bhishma, he gave a very clear depiction of how a ruler should be, how a ruler should be, and how an administrator should be. And he also mentions about the governance, jurisprudence, and political responsibility. All these issues, we discuss as part of public administration, and also comparative politics. This is what is called comparative politics. And another issue here is, there are so many other issues like that, every chapter, every parva, 18 parvas are just classified as under I have given a table. You just go for the table, Mahabharata table, table, only table, only table. So you can see that 3 columns I have given, parva I have given, name of the parva I have given, and the various other issues involve values in the second column, and in the third column, and how it is related to our studies. So based on this particular table, we can prepare syllabus. Already some preliminary work I have done, but this is not sufficient. We have to go a long way, but some roadmap I am trying to give. And our faculty people have to sit together and they discuss the issues, and they try to put it in a systematic way and make it a syllabus for the students. And I am telling you that the corporate sector, after you go for jobs, because the National Sanskrit University, if you just confine your learning only to Sanskrit, that is good, but you should extend your knowledge to other subjects also. Then what will happen, when you apply for jobs, now the corporate sector is looking for such people like you, who have got some soft thinking, who have got some traditional thinking, but blended with the modernity. And they want such people for their organizations to flourish. And the days are coming now, and almost in every interview also they are trying to examine the personality of the candidate, and does he fit in our organization or not. And if you are thorough with such values which you are going to be taught here in the form of IKS, definitely you would be excelling other people in the competition. Good luck. Jai Sri Ram.
रामायणं महाभारतं योगः एवं भारतीयज्ञानपरम्परायाम् आधुनिकदृष्टिकोणम् आश्रित्य कथं पाठ्यक्रमः निर्मातुं शक्यः इति प्रत्यक्षतया तैः स्वयं परिश्रम्य पाठ्यक्रमः निर्मितः। सः अस्माकं पुरस्तात् सविस्तृतं तैः उपस्थापितः। अतः आचार्येभ्यः हनुमन्तु लजपतिराय महाभागेभ्यः धन्यवादाः। सम्प्रति अहं भारतीयज्ञानपरम्परायाः अङ्गभूतान् अस्माकम् अद्वैतवेदान्तविभागस्य अध्यक्षान् एवं शास्त्रपरिरक्षणकेन्द्रस्य निदेशकान् आचार्यान् के गणपतिभट्टमहाभागान् अनुरुन्धे अध्यक्षभाषणेन अस्मान् अनुगृह्णन्तु इति।
आचार्यः कामकोटीशः गोडाश्रीवंशजो गुरुः तयोः संस्मरणादेव जन्म मे सफलं ध्रुवम्। मंचे विराजमानाः हनुमन्तमहाभागाः ये च आधुनिकविज्ञानपरम्परायाः नूतनाः मार्गदर्शकाः, ये च शिवरामभट्टमहाभागाः नूतनतया आरब्धस्य केन्द्रस्य निदेशकाः, श्रोत्रगणाः, विद्यार्थिनः, अध्यापकाः, भारतीय ज्ञानपरम्परायाम् इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम इति नाम्ना आंग्लीकृत भारतीय विज्ञान परंपरायाः विषये किंचित् वक्तव्यम्। एका दिनात्मिका काचन गोष्ठी संचाल्यते इति आहूतः अहं भवत्परस्तात् मदीयं किंचित् वक्तुम् इच्छामि। राजधर्मः, राजनीतिः, रामायणं, महाभारतम् इत्यादयः नूतनाः शब्दाः प्राचीनकाले विद्यमानाः अधुना प्रचारं प्राप्ताः सन्ति। बहोः कालानन्तरं ज्ञानोदयः सम्प्राप्तः वर्तते। महान् सन्तोषः अनुभूयते। कालानन्तरमपि अस्माभिः किञ्चित् ज्ञानं तस्य प्रचाराय प्राप्तमिति। हनुमन्तमहाभागैः महाभारते विद्यमानाः सर्वेपि विषयाः एकत्रीकृताः, ये च अस्माकं पाठ्यक्रमे संयोजनीयाः इति तेषां प्रयत्नः श्लाघनीयो वर्तते। तद्वारा वयं महाभारतं पठामः। तद्वारा रामायणे विद्यमानं तत्त्वं ज्ञास्यामः। तद्वारा या नीतिर्वर्तते स्वजीवने स्थापयामः इति महदुद्देश्यं वर्तते। तेषां महान् श्रमः अनुष्ठितः वर्तते। अधुनातन समाजे किमस्मभ्यं लाभः वर्तते महाभारतात्, कथं वा ये च विषयाः अस्माभिः संयोजनीयाः ते सर्वेपि तत्र सूक्ष्मीकृताः वर्तन्ते। रामायणं धर्मस्य विषयः, महाभारतं कुटुम्बस्य विषयः। नाहं जानामि रामस्य भारतात् बहिः सम्बन्धः आसीद् वा अथवा कृष्णस्य भारतात् बहिः सम्बन्धः आसीद् वा इति पुराणेषु वर्तते वा नाहं जानामि। परन्तु कलियुगे तावत् अस्माकं सम्बन्धः न केवलं भारते बहिस्थैः सह सम्बन्धः महान् वर्तते। अन्तस्थैः सह कोलाहलः तत्र महाभारते, बहिस्थेन केनचित् कोलाहलः रामायणे, अन्तस्थैः सह बहिस्थैः सहश्च कोलाहलः दृश्यते कलियुगे। तादृशः कोलाहलः अथवा व्यापारो वा अथवा सम्बन्धो वा कथं वा वर्धनीयः इत्यत्र अस्माकं महाभारते यानि तत्त्वानि वर्तन्ते तानि तत्त्वानि अस्माभिः स्वीकृत्य सम्बन्धः वर्धयितुम् अथवा सम्पादयितुं शक्यते इति एतेषां पत्रस्य सारः आसीत्। यथा एकैकस्मिन्नपि युगे अत्यन्तं विश्वासः दोषाय एव भवति इति तु सत्यम्। अर्जुनस्य अत्यन्तं विश्वासः श्रीकृष्णस्य उपरि, रामस्य अत्यन्तं विश्वासः स्वधर्मस्य उपरि। अधुना अस्माकं प्रधानमन्त्रिणः अपि अत्यन्तं विश्वासः कैश्चित् इदानीं तस्य क्लेशः अस्माभिरनुभूतः वर्तते। एवञ्च युगे युगे अत्यन्तं विश्वासः दोषाय भवति इति तु सत्यम्। धर्मे वा भवतु, व्यक्तिविशेषः वा भवतु, द्वेषविशेषे वा भवतु, तत्तु अस्माभिः कालानुगुण्येन किञ्चित् उपादानविषमसत्ताकेन सम्बन्धः प्राप्यते। तदनु चरित्रम् अस्माभिः अनुभूयते। एकत्र वेदे इन्द्रशब्दवर्णनावसरे इन्द्रः देवतानां राजा भवति। तर्हि इन्द्रशब्दार्थः कः? इन्द्रशब्दार्थप्रतिपादनेन अस्माकं राजा कथं भवेत् इति अस्माभिः वेदद्वारा अवगन्तुं शक्यते। एतत्तु भारतीयं विज्ञानम्। ऋग्वेदे इन्द्रत्वा वृषभं वयम् इत्यादिना आरब्धाः अनेके मन्त्राः इन्द्रस्य वर्णनार्थं वर्तन्ते। वैयाकरणाः इन्द्रशब्दवर्णनावसरे व्युत्पत्तिं प्रदर्श्य इन्द्रः कीदृशः भवेत्, इन्द्रः दधृष्वान् भवेत्, इन्द्रः रजुष्वान् भवेत्, इन्द्रः उग्रः भवेत्, इरां दद्यात्, इरां दधति, इरां धारयति, इन्दवे द्रवति, इन्दौ रमते, इन्धे भूतानि तिष्ठन्ति इत्याद्याः व्युत्पत्तयः प्रदर्शिताः। एकैकम् अपि व्युत्पत्तिम् अधुनातनराज्ञी कथं समन्वयः भवति इति पश्यामः। तेन प्राचीनं शास्त्रं राजनीतौ कथम् उपयोगाय भवेत् इति चिन्तयितुं शक्यते। प्रथमा व्युत्पत्तिर्वर्तते इन्द्रः इरां दृणाति। इरां दृणाति इत्यस्य अर्थः इराम् अन्नं व्रेष्यादि व्युत्पत्तिं कारयति। तत्रत्या व्युत्पत्तिः। अधुना यः राजा वर्तते तेन इदं ज्ञातव्यं वर्तते, यथा इन्द्रः विना क्लेशम् उत्पन्नानां प्राणिनां विभागम् अज्ञात्वा सर्वेषां तावत् अपेक्षितम् अन्नम् अपेक्षिते काले अपेक्षित उपाधिना प्रददाति। सस्यानां नीरं, प्राणिनाम् आहारः, नाम कस्मिन् काले कः आहारः अपेक्षितः तस्मिन् काले तम् आहारम् उत्पाद्य प्रदास्यति इन्द्रः। शैत्यकाले अस्माभिः यद् भुज्यते तत् ग्रीष्मकाले अस्माभिः न स्वीक्रियते। तदनुसारेण सस्यानाम् उत्पत्तिः, तदनुसारेण अन्नानां पाकः, ऋत्वादिक्रमेण पंचभूतानाम् उपयोगः यथा वेदे उक्तः तादृशी सृष्टिः इन्द्रस्य भवति, तस्मात् सः इन्द्रः। अस्माकं यः राजा वर्तते तस्य नीतिः तस्य सामर्थ्यमपि तदेव भवेत्। यदा यस्मिन् देशे भारते दाक्षिणात्याः यम् आहारं स्वीकुर्वन्ति औत्तराः न तथा। एवञ्च कालानुगुण्येन देशानुगुण्येन च आहारस्य व्यवस्था यथा न्यूनता न स्यात् तथा राजा प्रदद्यात्, सः इन्द्रः भवति। अस्माकमपि राजा तादृशः इन्द्रः भवेत् इति एका व्युत्पत्तिः। द्वितीया व्युत्पत्तिर्भवति इन्दुना सह सम्बन्धं प्राप्नोति। इन्दुर्नाम मनःकारकः। चन्द्रेण सह सम्बन्धं प्रापयति। राजा अपि सर्वेषां मनसि भवेत्। कथं राजा सर्वेषां मनसि भवेत्? यदि प्रजानुकूल्यं कुर्यात् तर्हि, नो चेत् यदा अयं गच्छेत् इत्येव स्यात्, मनसि तथा न तिष्ठेत्। देवताः सर्वाः अपि इन्द्रं स्तुन्वन्ति। ये कोऽपि इन्द्रस्य विरोधी देवता एकापि नास्ति इति वेदः वदति। इन्द्रसाम्राज्यं स्यात् स्वर्गः इति चिन्त्यताम्। तत्र सर्वं सुखमयमेव वर्तते, दुःखं न लभ्यते, नानुभूयते। तादृशः इन्द्रः भवेत् नीतिज्ञः, मनःशास्त्रज्ञः, प्रजानां मनः जानीयात्। एवञ्च इन्दुना सह सम्बन्धः यस्य वर्तते सः इन्द्रः। मनःकारकेण सह मनसा सह सम्बन्धः। ऋजुष्वान् इति कश्चन प्रयोगः वेदे। व्युत्पत्तिं न पृच्छन्तु, शिवरामकृष्णभट्टाः एव वदेयुः वेदभाष्यद्वारा। अन्तस्थः व्यापकः, बहिस्थः दुर्लभः इत्यर्थः वेदे प्रतिपादितः। अन्तः सः व्यापकः भवेत्, बहिः दुर्लभः भवेत्। कदाचित् यदि सुलभः भवति राजा, प्रतिदिनं जनाः तत्र गच्छेयुः। सम्बन्धे वा विषये असम्बन्धे वा विषये तत्र गत्वा पीडयेयुः। तस्मात् अन्तस्थः व्यापकः, बहिस्थः दुर्लभः यः भवति स एव ऋजुष्वच्छब्दार्थः इति सायणाचार्यैः वर्णितं वर्तते। एवञ्च राज्ञः स्वभावः एतादृशः भवेत् यत्र अन्तस्थव्यापकत्वं कीदृशम् इत्युक्ते तेन किं कृतम् इति कार्यानुमेयाः संस्काराः इति भवेत्। नाम कार्येण अस्माभिरनुभोक्तव्यं, तेन कथम् अनुष्ठितं, केषां सहयोगः वर्तते इति अस्माभिर्ज्ञातुं यथा न शक्येत तादृशः व्यवहारः तथा भवेत्। सः व्यवहारः अस्माभिः पूर्वं वर्षद्वयात् पूर्वं ज्ञातः। नोट् डिनामिनेशन् जातं किल, तस्मिन् सर्वे अस्माभिरनुभूतम्। यदा तद् जीवो आगतं तदैव अस्माभिर्ज्ञातं, परन्तु तस्य क्लेशः कियान् भवेत्, क्लेशस्य निवारणं कथं वा भवितुमर्हति, जनाः कथं पीडिताः न स्युः इत्यादि विचिन्तनम् अकृत्वा तैः न कृतं स्यात्। न केवलम् अस्माकं लाभाय, प्रतियोगिनां क्लेशाय अपि तत् उपयोगाय जातम्। यदि अस्माभिः पूर्वं ज्ञातं स्यात्, अस्माभिर्ज्ञातम् इति तु अन्यः विषयः, परेषां ज्ञानं यदि भवति तर्हि कियान् क्लेशः भवति इत्यत्र अन्तस्थव्यापकत्वं वेदे उक्तं तदुदाहरणं भवति। एवञ्च इन्द्रः एतादृशः भवेत्, राजापि तथैव भवेत्। एवञ्च नाहं सम्पूर्णस्य भारतस्य विषये वदामि, राज्यस्यापि अस्माकं विश्वविद्यालयस्यापि। एवञ्च अस्माकं विश्वविद्यालये कुलपतयः राजानः भवन्त्येव, कुलपतयः इति वदन्ति। कुलानां पतिः इत्युक्ते राजा एव भवति। एवं राज्यस्य कश्चन मुख्यमन्त्री भवति, देशस्य प्रधानमन्त्री भवति। एवञ्च नीतिः इत्युक्ते सर्वेषां तथा एव भवति। राजानः मनुष्याणां कष्टं शृणुयुः, एवञ्च अन्तस्थव्यापकाः भवेयुः, बहिः सुदुर्लभाः भवेयुः। तदनन्तरं पप्रज्ञः इति एकः, विलक्षणशब्दाः दृश्यन्ते, कथमिति न ज्ञायते, कथं वा व्युत्पत्तिः प्रदर्शिता इत्युक्ते पराधीनः न भवेत् इति व्याख्यातं। बहवः अर्थाः तत्र प्रतिपादिताः। पराधीनः न भवेत् अर्थात् इदानीम् अस्माकं राजा यः वर्तते तस्य सहायकमन्त्रिणः सर्वदा भवन्ति। अस्माकं सम्प्रदायोपि तथैव वर्तते, राजसम्प्रदायः तथैव वर्तते। अस्माकं बहुसङ्ख्याकाः देवताः भवन्ति। धनप्रदायिका वर्तते लक्ष्मी, विद्याप्रदायिका सरस्वती इत्यादि, संरक्षिका दुर्गा भवति। एवञ्च भारतीय प्रजाप्रभुत्वस्य मूलस्रोतः भवति देवतानां व्यवस्था। पश्यतु, इन्द्रः भवतु, तथापि विघ्ननायकत्वेन गणपतिः वर्तते, लक्ष्मीप्रदायकत्वेन लक्ष्मी वर्तते, संरक्षकत्वेन दुर्गा वा सुदर्शनो वा वर्तते। एवञ्च बह्व्यः देवताः यथा भवन्ति तथा अस्माकं मन्त्रिवर्याः अपि भवन्ति। एकः मुख्यः मन्त्री वर्तते, प्रधानमन्त्री अथवा राजा, तस्य वित्तमन्त्री भवति, रक्षणामन्त्री भवति। एवञ्च अन्येषां मते तथा नास्ति यथा अस्माकं सम्प्रदाये वर्तते। परन्तु यः प्रधानमन्त्री वर्तते सः सम्पूर्णम् अन्येषां मन्त्रिणाम् अधीनः न भवेत्। एवं स्वकीयमेव प्राधान्यं योगदानं वर्तते, सः कारयेत्। एवञ्च अन्याधीनः न भवेत् इति इन्द्रत्वा वृषभं वयम् इति मन्त्रे स्पष्टतया वर्तते। एवञ्च अन्य अनधीनः यः वर्तते स एव इन्द्रः इति भाष्ये प्रतिपादितम्। एवञ्च कदा अन्य अधीनः न भवति, अनधीनः भवेत् इत्युक्ते स्वकीया काचन बुद्धिस्तस्य स्यात्। एवञ्च बुद्धौ यदि दार्ढ्यं वर्तते, शरीरे च दृढता वर्तते, अश्वादपि अवरः न भवेत् इति अस्ति। अश्वादपि अवरः न भवेत्। वेगेषु अश्वः अत्यन्तं वेगी प्राणी भवति। इन्द्रः तदपेक्षया वेगवान् भवेत् इति तत्र सूचितं वर्तते। एवञ्च कस्मिन् वेगवान् धावति इति नार्थः। सर्वत्र कार्येषु तस्य चिन्तनं तादृशवेगेनैव भवेत्। तादृशः इन्द्रः अस्माकं परिपालकः भवेत्। एवञ्च राज्ञः अपि धर्मः तादृशः भवति इति स्पष्टीकृतम्। प्रजानां सन्देहनिवारणाय काचन कथा वर्तते ऋग्वेदे। षड् ऋतवः भवन्ति इति तु सर्वे जानन्ति एव। षड् ऋतवः भवन्ति इति एकत्र मन्त्रः वदति सप्त ऋतवः भवन्ति इति। पण्डिताः परस्परं विवादं कृत्वा राज्ञः समीपे गताः। कथा इयं वर्तते ऋग्वेदे। सः उक्तवान्, भवन्तः पण्डिताः, भवत्पक्षोऽपि साधु, सप्त ऋतवः इति पक्षः अपि साधु। कथम् इत्युक्तम्। एकः वर्तते ऋतुः, सः मदीयः। यत्र अधिकमासः वर्तते यस्मिन् वर्षे, सः कुत्र गणनीयः इति पृच्छति। एतेषु ऋतुषु तस्य गणनं नास्ति अधिकमासस्य, तर्हि सः पक्षः मदीयः वर्तते, तस्मात् मद्ऋतुः इति राजा वदति। एवञ्च सप्तर्तवः इति यत् वेदे उक्तं तत् तेन स्थापनीयं वर्तते धर्मरीत्या। एवञ्च देवायन ऋतुः इति तस्य नाम स्थापयन्तु इति राजा वदति। एवञ्च इदमित्थम् इति धर्मशास्त्रे, इदमित्थम् इति प्रजानां पोषणे, इदमित्थम् इति धैर्येण प्रदानम्, अन्तस्थव्यापकत्वं, बहिस्थसुदुर्लभत्वं, दृढकायत्वम्, अन्य अनधीनत्वम् इत्यादयः ये गुणाः देवेन्द्रे कथिताः वेदे, ते सर्वेपि नीतिशास्त्रे नीतिसम्पादनार्थम् अत्यन्तम् अपेक्षितपदार्थेषु अन्यतमाः भवन्ति। किञ्च विपृक्तः इति इन्द्रस्य विषये कश्चन विशेषशब्दः। पृचि सम्पृक्ते इति धातुः। नाम किमपि वक्तुम् इष्यते वैयाकरणैः। क्षमाशास्त्रं करे यस्य इति व्याख्यातम्। क्षमारूपेण सम्पृक्तः राजा। नाम एतत् सर्वं मदीयं नास्ति, सर्वं भाष्यात् उद्धृतं वर्तते। मदीयं तु न किञ्चन। सर्वैः सह समकाले सम्बन्धं प्राप्नुयात्। देवतानां तद् भवति, परन्तु या शक्तिः इदानीं यन्त्रे वर्तते, सर्वैः सह समकाले सम्बन्धः सम्पादयितुं शक्यते। तादृशं विज्ञानम् अस्माकं समीपे अस्ति अधुना। इतोपि राज्ञः त्रयः सहोदराः भवेयुः इति वेदे वर्तते। यदि आदित्यः राजा भवति तर्हि तस्य त्रयः भ्रातरः भवन्ति। एकः वायुः, एकः जलम्, अपरः अग्निः। त्रयः भ्रातरः आदित्यस्य राज्ञः भवति इति आदित्य राजस्वरूपः इति प्रतिपादितम्। कथं भ्रातृत्वं नाम भरतेर्हरति कर्मणः। हरतेर् भागं भर्तव्यो भवति। आदित्यः स्वीय शक्तिम् अग्निरूपेण, वायुरूपेण, जलरूपेण प्रदास्यति। अत्र अस्माभिश्चिन्तनीयम् अस्ति, वायुः सर्वदा गतिमान्, राज्ञः कश्चन सेवकः एतादृशः भवेत्, सर्वदा सञ्चरेत्। सदा सर्वदा सञ्चरति चेदेव सः जनान् प्राप्नोतुं शक्नोति। सञ्चारेण कार्यं सम्पूर्णं भवति वा इति चिन्तायाम् अग्निरिव तीक्ष्णोऽपि भवति कश्चन। कार्यसम्पादने तीक्ष्णत्वमपि अपेक्षितं वर्तते। तादृशः कश्चन सहोदरः, सहोदरः नाम बन्धुरिति नार्थः अत्र, कार्यकारणसमर्थः कश्चन भवेत् अग्निरिव, जलमिव समानचित्तः भवेत्। एवञ्च एतादृशत्रयः सहोदराः राज्ञः आदित्यस्य यथा भवन्ति, तथा अस्माकं राज्ञः अपि भवेत्। तेन सह सफलः राजा भवितुम् अर्हति। तस्मात् वेदोक्ताः ये विशिष्टाः शब्दाः, तेषां ये विशिष्टाः अर्थाः, तान् सर्वानपि ज्ञात्वा यथा राजा व्यवहरति, सः यत् अस्माभिः उद्दिष्टं कार्यं वर्तते तत् कर्तुं समर्थः भवेत्। मदीया एका विनम्रा प्रार्थना वर्तते अधिकारिणां निकटे। एतस्मिन् विषये अनेके विषयाः स्थापिताः। दत्तन्तु एकं दिनं, कुत्र पर्याप्तं भवेत्? बहु विज्ञानम् अस्ति। आरम्भः इति कृत्वा एकं दिनं स्थापितं स्यात्। इतः परं न्यूनातिन्यूनम् एका कार्यशाला 10 दिनात्मिका अत्र आयोजनीया अवश्यं वर्तते। भारतीयवैज्ञानिकाः अनेके भवेयुः। न केवलं वेदे शास्त्रे निष्णाताः वर्तन्ते, आधुनिकतन्त्रज्ञाः अपि भवन्ति। तयोः सहयोगेन कार्यशाला आयोज्यते चेत् केन्द्रस्य स्थापनं, केन्द्रस्य उद्घाटनं सार्थक्यं भजेत्। अतः पुनरेकवारम् एतादृशीं कार्यशालां संस्थाप्य अस्माकं विश्वविद्यालयस्य तथा सर्वेषां भारतीयानाम् उपयोगाय परिकल्पनं कुर्वन्तु इति सम्प्राप्य अवकाशं दत्तवद्भ्यः पुनरेकवारं धन्यवादं वितीर्य स्वस्तिवाचनं करोमि। नमांसि।
धन्यवादाः। संगोष्ठ्याः विषये राजधर्मः इति पदमस्ति। अतः वेदोक्ताः ये राजपरकाः विशिष्टाः शब्दाः सन्ति, तान् अधिकृत्य महोदयाः सव्युत्पत्ति पदानाम् अर्थं प्रतिपादितवन्तः। अतः अयमपि प्राचीनः विषयः परन्तु प्रासङ्गिकः। अतः तादृशविषयान् प्रतिपादितवद्भ्यः आचार्येभ्यः गणपतिभट्टमहाभागेभ्यः धन्यवादाः। सम्प्रति कृष्णेश्वरझा महाभागान् अनुरुन्धे गणपतिभट्टमहोदयानां सत्कारं कुर्वन्तु इति। अद्य चतुर्थसत्रस्य अध्यक्षाः भवन्ति के गणपतिभट्टमहाभागाः। तेषां सम्माननं कुर्वन्ति कृष्णेश्वरझा महाभागाः। राङ्कवप्रदानेन, सञ्चिकाप्रदानेन, फलप्रदानेन च गणपतिभट्टमहोदयानां सम्माननं भवति। सम्प्रति चतुर्थसत्रमिदम् अत्रैव सम्पद्यते। अतः अहम् अध्यक्षमहोदयेभ्यः मुख्यवक्तृभ्यश्च धन्यवादान् वितनोमि।